Hi, I'm Nicole Chamberlain, and if you are here, you are performing Beloved Community. So this video will be a little longer and there will be chapters. So you can just skip to the part that you have questions about. So this video is aimed mainly towards the people that are premiering this piece. So I encourage you all, if you have any questions about this, just reach out to me and I'm happy to visit the flute choirs that are premiering this and try to make sure everybody feels prepared and confident to premiere this at the National Flute Convention. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is the program notes, basically. So Beloved Community is this idea from Martin Luther King Jr. that that kind of embodies this selfless, unconditional love that seeks to resolve division with goodwill and understanding. So basically, a nonviolent confrontation to be able to exchange ideas compassionately and try to resolve them, resolve the conflicts, resolve the disagreements somehow. And so the idea that I've to try to illustrate this whole lofty vision is that we have a soloist, in this case, Valerie Coleman, who will start from the back of the audience. And so she will be the soloist walking around. And then we'll have six groups, like MLK's six principles. So we'll have flute one, flute twos, flute threes, flute fours, alto, bass, and then the stage. And the audience is separated in the middle so that there's an aisle down the middle. For future performers, do the best you can. um, so so what's going to happen, the idea is that the soloist will visit each little group, discuss an idea, and there's a response and eventually a resolution, and then she moves on to the second group, the third group, or the fourth group, and the altos, the altos and the basses, and then walks to the stage at the front. And so you can see the pushback and then the resolution of it from each group, and then also understanding that it's not always linear. So sometimes there is some backwards steps, and then you bring them back together. And towards the end, you have this harmonious fit and work and group of the community being able to live together and shoot ideas without worry about conflict. So that's the idea behind the piece. I hope it's projected well. There will be a lot of stereophonic or antiphonal things happening so that what's proclaimed from the stage you might hear echoed in the back and vice versa, and then swirling around. And the shoes in the group, which we'll talk about later, are the people that are resisting the idea, that are like, don't talk about that. So let's keep going. So the next step, and I'm sure what people have the most questions about, is the beginning, is the chaos section. So the first measure, there's no time meter. It's an idea. It doesn't have to be a literal interpretation. This is just for people to get a starting point. I know a lot of people don't like to improvise, and so this can help people that don't like that. So the first measure, you just start playing at whatever time you want to come in, whatever point you want in the measure, you can improvise on that measure. The idea is that we're going to develop chaos. And every time you see those slashes or that chaos, say resume chaos, you just kind of go back to that same idea. The only thing I don't want changed is the extended technique. So like flute ones, if you're on pits, whatever you do, it's always pits. And same for all the other instruments, like whatever designated extended technique you have, you just continue doing that even with the resume chaos. Don't change. And then the other point I want to make is make sure you're a dull roar below the soloist, so the soloist can be heard. The soloist is pretty high, and the extended techniques are pretty like the really tiny ones that you have to hear. So, you know, we that's the whole idea. Okay, this is kind of what it will sound like. Of course, it will never sound exactly like that because it'll be improvised anew every time. But that's the general feel. That's the general vibe we want. So let's go over now the extended techniques. So we'll start with the chaos section. So for pits, you want to mimic a string player plucking. So like you want to use a syllable, and in this case I use do. So my tongue is behind my teeth, and then I release the air pressure. And then I'll use my flute to do the same. Does that make sense? So, oh, can you see my tongue what it's doing? So with the do, it just kind of helps funnel. I shouldn't hear any flute tone. No flute tone. None of that. Just the plucking of the string. The next one in flute 2, you have tongue rams. And so, like you go, but that tongue is going to end up right in here, right in that hole, and plug it up. See how I can kind of do it with just my finger? You want to kind of do the same thing. And my lips are sealing around this hole. You could probably grease it up a little bit so you can kind of see that it's around the hole. Now I don't go straight down. My flute still stays like the hole still stays up to the ceiling. Okay, the third flute, you have beatboxing. You just have boo, press your lips together, and then let the air come out. Again, we don't want flute tone, so if you have a little bit of flute tone, you may consider rolling out a little. All right. We already covered pits. Alto flutes, to go back to the tongue ram, it's the same principle, even with my little curved head joint. Same idea. Okay, key clicks. Bass flutes, you got the big keys, you get the big key clicks. Put it on your face. I find one finger is more accurate and sometimes can be louder. But sometimes all fingers are pretty loud too, huh? Experiment with that and then check the balance. Okay, great. Let's see what we've missed here. So for the beatboxing, we also have ch. Everybody has ch, ch, the CH. Ch, 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 ch. Then sneak up your flute. Ch, 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 ch. Notice you can still see my teeth. So, you know, no. Lift your top lip. We have k, k, ki, k. That's usually when you have 16th notes. It's like double tonguing. And then finally, everybody has shh, shh, through your teeth, smiling. Shh. You'll have long ones where you hold it, and then you'll have short ones where it's more aggressive, like your okay? Again, if you have trouble producing it, do it without your flute, and then just sneak your flute in. And then finally, Oh, and all of these translate also on the low flutes, like alto and bass, the boo, and it'll be even better. The cha, the ka, and the sha. You'll have a lot more power than everybody else there. And you don't have jet whistles, so that's one less thing you have to worry about. For the jet whistlers, it's similar to tongue rams, except your tongue's not involved. You're just gonna into your flute. You're gonna seal the embouchure hole. Make sure the embouchure hole is up, and you just put it in your mouth. See how my hair flicked open a little bit? If you seal it tight enough, it'll all go into the flute. And you won't have to do a lot of effort if you've sealed properly. Okay. Again, a lot of that will swirl around the ensemble. I am looking forward to the premiere. I'm looking forward to having all my Georgia Atlanta friends together at the NFA. Very much. It's always nice to see you all. Why am I saying you all? Y'all. We all know better. Again, contact me if you want me to come out to the group, and we'll figure out what I can do to help you feel prepared. If you are performing this piece after the premiere, thank you. And don't be afraid to reach out if you have questions. And hopefully I'll have a recording for you to listen to, so you get the idea of where everything's coming from. And I look forward to talking to you all soon.